Have you ever wondered why some websites seem to be everywhere while others feel, well, completely invisible? I'll tell you, it's not luck. It's search engine optimization, or SEO. And in the next few minutes, we're going to break down how the rules for getting seen online have totally changed for 2024 and beyond. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with why SEO is just so critical in the first place. Then we'll take a quick look back at the old rulebook, the stuff that doesn't work anymore. From there, we'll dive into the new rules for success, tackle the huge impact of AI, and finally land on the one golden rule of SEO that honestly never ever changes. So, first up, let's get right to the heart of it. We're going to tackle the one core problem that SEO was created to solve: the challenge of just getting noticed in this incredibly crowded digital world. At its most basic, SEO is just the process of making your website pop up when people are actually looking for what you do. I love this analogy. Without SEO, your website is like this amazing little shop, but it's hidden down a dark, empty alley. It could be the best shop in the world, but nobody's going to find it. Good SEO, well, that's what moves your store right onto Main Street, with all the lights and all the foot traffic. And why is being on Main Street so important? Get this. A staggering 90% of all search traffic goes to the results on the very first page of Google. Let that sink in. If you're on page 2 or 3 or anywhere beyond, you're pretty much invisible to almost everyone. The stakes here are incredibly high. Now, to really understand where we are today, we have to go back in time, back to the Wild West of early SEO. This was an era that was all about trying to game the system, and it led to, well, a great reckoning.
This timeline here really shows Google's long war on spam. It kicked off in 2011 with the Panda update, which went after all that thin, junky content. Then came Penguin, which targeted these sneaky link farms, but the real game changer was Hummingbird in 2013. That's when Google started trying to understand our intent, what we really mean when we search for something. And the recent helpful content updates, that's the final evolution of this, where Google is flat out rewarding sites that are built for people, not for robots.
So the shift is it's night and day. On the left, you've got the old tricks: stuffing keywords everywhere, buying links, churning out useless content. On the right, you have the modern playbook: understanding topics deeply, creating guides that actually help people, and above all else, earning genuine trust. The whole game has flipped from trying to cheat an algorithm to actually winning over a person. Okay, so that was the past. That brings us right here to the modern playbook. So what are the new rules? What actually moves the needle today? It really boils down to these 3 core pillars. First, your site needs to have solid technical health. It's got to be fast, secure, and easy for search engines to understand. Second, you absolutely need valuable content that helps people solve their problems. And third, you have to build earned authority by getting recognized by other trusted sites. If you nail these 3, you're in a fantastic position. Now, under that first pillar, technical health, Google has this scorecard called Core Web Vitals. Just think of LCP as loading speed. How fast does the good stuff show up? IMP is all about interactivity. When you click a button, does it respond instantly? And CLS measures visual stability, making sure the page doesn't jump all over the place while it's loading, which is super annoying. It's all about rewarding a great user experience. For pillar number 2, valuable content, Google's North Star is a framework called EEAT. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. It's basically Google's BS detector. Do you have real-world experience? Can you prove your expertise? Are you a known authority? And most importantly, is your information trustworthy? This is how Google tells the real experts from the fakes. And for that third pillar, authority, the rule is so simple: quality over quantity. The old days of just buying thousands of cheap, spammy links are so over. Today, one single link from a well-respected, relevant site in your industry is worth more than all of those combined. It's a powerful vote of confidence, and Google pays a lot of attention to those. All right, now we have to talk about the elephant in the room, the biggest shakeup in search in over a decade: artificial intelligence. But this isn't something to be afraid of. It's really just the next big evolution. So instead of that classic list of 10 blue links, you've probably seen this already. Google's AI overviews will often just give you the answer right at the top of the page. It actually reads the best sources on the topic and just summarizes it for you. This changes absolutely everything. And of course, that's led to a massive rise in what we call zero-click searches. This chart shows it right here. Over a quarter of all desktop searches end without anyone ever clicking a link. Why? Because they got their answer from that AI summary. So the goal is no longer just to rank number one. It's to be the source that Google's AI trusts enough to quote. But, and this is so important, here's the big paradox in all of this. As the internet gets flooded with generic AI-generated content, the value of real, genuine human experience and true expertise, it skyrockets. AI can summarize what's already out there, but it can't share a personal story or unique insight from years of experience. That's where we as humans become more valuable than ever. So, with all of these algorithm updates, this massive AI revolution, what's the one thing that holds true? The one thing that's constant through all the chaos? It all comes down to this one simple, powerful idea. Before you even think about a single keyword or a link, your main goal has to be creating something that is genuinely helpful. Solve a real person's problem. Answer their question better than anyone else does. That's it. And that leads us to the ultimate unbreakable golden rule of all modern SEO. Build for humans first. Period. Search engines are just getting smarter and smarter at figuring out what real people actually like and find useful. If you focus on making your human audience happy, you will, eventually, be rewarded by the search engines. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Take a really honest look at your website and ask yourself, are we genuinely helping our users, or are we just playing a game, just chasing algorithms? In this new era of SEO, the answer to that question is going to define everything.